Hi, this is Dr. K. Some questions about the research project and/or paper and the final exam. So I wanted to go over some of that information. It's somewhat confusing. It's certainly so much easier when we're in person and I can kind of show it and explain to you. But let's go to your Moodle, and if you could follow along with me, that would be great. If you can't, you can come back and maybe do it later. So let's look at the two separate things. There's a research project, okay, which is due December 8th. Here's the instructions. Okay, so you can do a number of things. You can do a paper, you can do a video, you can do a website or something else. If you do a paper, it should be 4 to 5 pages of really good work, some academic references, and the 4 to 5 pages does not count the title page and references. Okay, so it's 4 to 5 pages of text. That's probably what many of you do, but you're welcome to do a video. You're welcome to do a website or whatever you want to do to get the work done. Okay, so basically what you want to do is one of these 3 things in your project or paper. Some thesis statement. As a paper, it would probably be 2 or 3 paragraphs. Okay? It's not just one statement like you may have in an English paper or something like that. Then you have the body of it, which you discuss the topic that's a thesis. Then you have the conclusion. So what it should be, I'll talk about the outline in a second, but these are some possible topics, okay, that you could have. Present the main causes of divorce, discuss the various impacts on all family members based on reason for divorce. So make sure to answer the full question. So you talk about divorce, talk about different family members, and maybe in-house in the developmental process, Erikson, Freud, Piaget, those kind of things that are happening. And what's really interesting with this, I think, is how old the person was when the divorce occurred. Each person is affected differently based on the age they're in or what stage they're in terms of like Erikson or something else, okay? So either or dissect Kubler-Ross stages of grief. Now they're affected by cultural variations. So stages of grief occur fairly close to the Kubler-Ross model, but how are they different in different cultures? So different countries certainly do it differently, and some places in our own country do it differently. So you would select one of the topics, or you can create a topic in your own, and you will take care of this. So this is the project, okay? And here's the outline you're supposed to have turned in back in October, I think. Let me just check it. Yeah, the project's due December 8th, but you should get this in. So there's just some outline. So what I picked was locus of control. So here's the outline. This is all you need to turn into these 5 or 6 lines here, okay? Effective parenting styles and locus of control. So 2 different concepts, locus of control and parenting styles. There's 4 parenting styles, and locus of control as an external, internal kind of a scale. And then you define parenting styles, define locus of control, those 2 topics, and you try to find interactions of the 2 theories. If you just search those, you'll find tons of that for whatever your topic is. Conclusion. Conclusion should be data-driven from the researchers, not necessarily just your opinion. Now, you can certainly put a statement there of your opinion of what it might be, especially if you're talking about personal experiences, but your conclusion should be based on research. Okay? Research that's done by a credible source. Okay? So that's the paper project Dropbox. Let's go back to the paper outline that we did. And so what you do is you take the paper and you would put that into, here's the rubric, okay? Fairly simple. And of course it's blank, that's simple. So APA format in text citations, we're excited. And here's your content, your body, and inclusion. Some critical analysis, which should be your conclusion, and integration of concepts. So this, locus control and parenting style with the 1 hour. So these are where your 100 points comes from. So that's a little bit of rubric to give you a chance to kind of take a look at that. And here's the research paper Dropbox. So this is where you put it in. Okay, that's a resource to help support you. And you can look at those for your APA. That is MLA, it's APA also. Okay, so that's the paper. Okay, should have turned in the outline. Okay, and then turn in the actual paper right here. Here's the rubric, and here is the outline. Here's some instructions. Okay, so this is the final exam. So in the final exam, somewhere around the 7th or 8th, probably closer to the 7th, I will give you 5 questions, and you will write on 3 of them. Each question you write maybe up to 2 pages, so it shouldn't be just a simple paragraph or 2. Okay, they're fairly complex in terms of the questions. I'll show you some examples of those. This is where you put your question suggestions. Okay, in this Dropbox here. Okay, so if you have any idea, this is due November 30th. This was sent out before in an email. And so we should turn it in with something which is critical thinking, some concept theories like you've seen, thought-provoking, and open-ended. Not a yes or no answer. Okay, so that's the question you'll turn in. Okay, and that's due November 30th. So after that, we will go down to final exam questions. Here's some that have been in the past. You can give some examples of these. You can't see this as it's started right now, but so you know there's a. Okay, we'll open it up here, and there we go. Okay, so this is a little bit about the final exam. You receive this on a couple days before the actual due date, so we have it. So this is answer to your question. Okay, so here's a couple of questions. Okay, what are 2 theories of motivation? How do they impact behavior as well as personality? You define 2 theories of motivation. Okay. You drive or whatever else you want to do. And then you how they impact behavior as well as personality. So you kind of bring in maybe 3 different topics we've talked about, and you kind of combine them into a paper. Locus control here, child based on the Diana Cummins parenting style to experience. So here's parenting styles, 4 parenting styles. This is one that was submitted by actually a student a while ago. And compare those to locus of control. Okay, 2 concepts, and you bring those together, integration. These are all about integration. This one has 6, couldn't eliminate 1. I think 4 of them are from students. So these are the kind of questions you should be submitting to me, okay, if you want to include those in there. But if not, you should submit a question, and I will review it, and if it becomes one of our questionnaire, it could be going forward. Okay, so this is available to you, or will be available to you when as we create the questions. Here's the Dropbox, which is open. Okay, so let me go ahead and open it right now so you see what it is. Okay, so there's the Dropbox. Okay, and you'll see that now. So those are the 2 things. Exams on the 10th. It's our last day of class anyway, and the research project is due on the 8th. So when we hit the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, you'll have all of Module 5 done. You'll have basically 2 weeks to work on your research project paper, and then after that, you'll work on your final exam. So hopefully you'll do really well, because these are about 20. These are actually 20% of your total grade. These 2 items here. Okay. So let's see if we can get Module 5 done and successfully, and then you can work on your research project or paper in the time, and then work on your final exam after that. And that's why I would suggest doing a calendar on it. There's a lot of work and a lot of points coming up. Okay. Any questions? Let me know.